Have you listened to the podcast yet, the recent with Joe Rogan?
I've not yet. You keep telling me to. I've not done that yet. It's his recent one.
Yeah,
with Joe Rogan.
No, I think it's like...
Was it plugging this book, by any chance?
I haven't listened to it all
Never
yet.
Finished?
I haven't listened to it all yet. But again, the start of it just impressed me so much. So if you haven't listened to it, we usually don't say it because obviously Joe Rogan listens to our podcast and we have to return a favour now and again. But the psychology behind your life, behind how you think and how you walk this earth is involved in this book. So, for instance, one of the parts in the book was, I described it a few months ago maybe in a podcast. And I was on that, if you get bitten by a dog as a kid, you think that all dogs are going to bite you. We are Finding Success. We're here to help break that monotony of your life and help you find your version of success. Welcome back to another episode, guys. Me, Adam.
And me, Alex.
How you doing, mate? You right?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. I'm cold still. And it's been raining the past few days, but
it's been miserable, isn't it?
It's okay. Yeah. We're coming to the end. The end is in sight.
I don't see it. Be positive. Be positive.
How's your week been, dude?
Yeah, another great week.
Yeah, good.
Just keeping the momentum. Good. Which is I think that's the biggest thing, keeping the momentum going. So we've had as you know, I live with 4 lads.
Mm-hmm.
And we've still got a lot of stuff left over from Christmas, like the chockies and the sweets and we've done really well to keep them out of the way. But now they're out on the side in like
trays.
Gen pop. Yeah, like they're much more easily accessible. Before they were hidden in a cupboard, like no one knew they were there, sort of thing. But now all of a sudden they're out because we saw. I think one of the lads wants to get rid of them or something. I don't know. But anyway, they're all out on the side now, and it's a proper good mind game. Just stay away because it's easy to just take one and just walk away.
Yeah.
But then you get the flavour for it. Like, oh, want another one? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I've done really well and stayed away from it. But we're also trying to bait each other into having it all. So it's a hostile environment at the house right now. But it's good because it's actually I think it's helping us because it's sort of you're trying to make the other one fail.
Yeah,
in a loving way.
Yeah.
You're trying to make the other one break, and you're deliberately trying not to, so you're ahead of them.
Yeah.
It's a bit of competition in the household, and it's brilliant. I think it's what we need.
That's good.
What about you? How's your week?
Yeah, it was really good actually, mate. Talking of chocolates, a few weeks ago I walked into a local supermarket, and they had like chocolate specials on sale. And I'm like, oh my god! So I just walked past because I had to go through there to get to the pasta aisle.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Chocolate aisle was always.
And there was like my
aisle.
favourite chocolate dingbus ever, which was like the Reese's peanut butter things.
Right.
But they have them in like a Christmas tree covered in white chocolate. My God, they're good.
They still got a Christmas tree. I guess they just get rid of them, are they?
Yeah, it's just clearance,
okay.
weren't they?
Wow.
So I walked past, I'm like...
Who was that? No, you didn't.
I did.
Oh.
So I broke.
Adam.
But, I mean, they were for 50p, and I was like...
Minute on the hips.
That means I got to do
lifetime on the hips.
bloody 10k run now.
Oh, right.
But
at least you paid for it.
Yeah, but obviously it's high in energy as well, so it's pretty good. I use it to my advantage. I just took it before a gym session.
Nice.
Smashed it.
That's
and
a
I'm
good
like,
excuse.
Right, bang.
I'm going to tell myself that when I have a McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. Before a gym session. Right, this week.
This week, mate, we're going to do our books for 2023.
Nice.
Our top 5 books for 2023. These are not ones we've read. I think you have read one, haven't you?
Yes, yeah.
But they're ones we're going to be reading over the next few months to try and get ahead. Just to learn more, get an idea of what we're into. Well, if you look back at the previous episodes we did the 5 books, our favourite 5 books at the moment. And I think in a few months we'll probably do another favourite 5 books.
Yeah.
But ones
Once
we have read.
yeah, reel these
Exactly.
off. Absolutely.
So, let's get the ball rolling. Come on, let's not mess about. Everyone wants to know
All right,
the
boy.
juicy dinger.
All right, boy.
Give us one of your books you're going to be reading this year.
So I literally just started this book the other day on the plane. Really good book. It is called Richer, Wiser, Happier by William Green. Now, we listen to another podcast that's heavily involved around investing, and he's one of the hosts there. And that's how I got onto this book. He interviews very, very, very heavily high, wealthy, clever investors. People like Sir John Templeton, who's not around anymore, died. People like Manish Pabrai. People like Nick Sleep. People that you never heard of before, but are very, very smart in
Big
that
dogs.
respect. Exactly.
Yeah.
And as we spoke about on the previous episode, they all have something in common from their childhood and from that follows them. And so I kind of wanted to figure out, okay, what is it that I missed as a kid, and what can I install in my kids in the future that I can hopefully create generational wealth with. And it's a great book in that respect. It just tells you how they lived, what they're into, certain things that made them a better person, who they are, habits, everything involved around investing. You know, for instance, I won't go into it too bad because I don't want to ruin the book for you. But Manish is like, he always copied someone else's moves to start off with in investing because he didn't really know what he was doing, but he wanted to find, okay, Warren Buffett is buying Apple. Well, I'm just going to buy Apple because why would I not buy Apple? If he's doing it, it's good enough for him, I'm going to do it. If he's buying Coca-Cola, well, I'm just going to buy Coca-Cola because why not? I'll just copy. And that's where he started getting off into it. And then obviously he just diversified and shrunk his little bit down, and he is who he is today. But it's a great book. Absolutely great book to read.
What was it again?
Richer, Wiser, Happier by William Green.
I have seen that. I think I've seen the...
Quite new as well. I think it's 2022, maybe 2021 it came out.
Okay,
so quite a new book.
Interesting. Right. Book number 2. For me...
Yeah, go for it.
It's going to be... It's not actually the investing side of it. I'm going to go Never Finished by David Goggins.
Nice.
I've got this book. I've not started it yet, unfortunately, but I will. It's on my list. And it's classic David Goggins. It's just his sequel to You Can't Hurt Me, as shown on screen here.
When did he write that book?
Don't know. I should say, shouldn't it? Can't Hurt Me. I think it's quite old now.
5 years? 4 years?
Yeah. It's classic David Goggins. Take responsibility for your actions. It's on you. No one's coming to help you. Like, just keep going. I think the Never Finished is it's just the game's never done.
Yeah.
You never stop going. You do these ultra marathons. You just keep going. And it's about resilience and just being a hardcore badass.
Yeah.
And I think I need that every now and then.
Have you listened to the podcast yet? The recent with Joe Rogan?
I've not yet. You keep telling me to. I've not done that yet. It's his recent one.
Yeah,
with Joe Rogan.
No, I think it's like...
Was it plugging this book by any chance?
I haven't listened to it all
Never
yet.
Finished.
I haven't listened to it all yet. But again, the start of it just impressed me so much. So if you haven't listened to it, we usually don't say it because obviously Joe Rogan listens to our podcast and we have to return a favour now and again.
Rogan,
but yeah, I would go and listen to that podcast he does with David Goggins, the most recent one. I think it's like 1883 or something.
Okay.
It's one of the most recent episodes. Yeah.
I'll search
Give
it.
it a listen.
Search it.
Next.
For sure. Book 3. Come on. Give us your book.
Again, this is a book I have read. However, it's just great on psychology. And it's called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Now, because people see the word trading, they think of it as it's a trading book. Yeah. Okay, yes, there are certain bits in the book that are heavily involved around trading. But the psychology behind your life, behind how you think and how you walk this earth is involved in this book. So, for instance, one of the parts in the book was, I described it a few months ago maybe in a podcast. And I was about, if you get bitten by a dog as a kid, you think that all dogs are going to bite you.
That's it.
Whereas if you love dogs and dogs come over to you, or you've only had good dogs and you think that dogs are the best thing in the world and they're never going to bite you. So it talks heavily around this. For instance, if we hurt early in our investing career, we're going to perceive investing as bad. And that's just not the case. And it describes how to overcome that. It describes why you think that and why you shouldn't think like that. It's very, very good around that side of things. And it's a great book to read.
Fascinating. What was that again?
Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas.
Make a job. Definitely. Oh, interesting.
Very good book.
Very interesting. Right, I'm going to go book number 4. For me, it's The Subtle Art of Not Giving. That is genuinely the name. It started out on the... I don't know if that's how you search for it.
It's got the little...
asterisk star thing, yeah. Maybe I have to
Exactly.
put that in, I don't know. Sorry for swearing, but I thought it was the name of the book. By Mark Manson. And again, it's more of a mindset book. It's about basically blocking out all the white noise, the fuss, and the anger in the world, and just focusing on you, essentially. And I think that's quite powerful to do. I think it's quite... I need it every now and then, just to refocus, because I can get distracted by... Because the amount of noise in our industry, in the news, is like terrifying. Like,
so hard, yeah.
So, fun fact, sorry, I'm just going to do a slight road. What do you call it when you...
Fork in the junction.
Yeah, crap. Anyway, so funnily enough, they did a study. Do you remember the September bombings in London? Right, there was a little research into PTSD and people on the bus that were affected, like physically on the bus where the bomb went off, and a study of the people that were watching the news for about 20 days straight about the bombings.
Yeah,
right. The people watching the news at home, that had nothing to do with it, like up north, miles and miles away from the bomb, had higher symptoms of PTSD than the people on the bloody bus. Because they just sat and watched the news, and it filled their life with negativity.
Yeah.
And this book, so I'm not giving a beep, is basically about drowning that noise out.
Yeah.
It's about focusing on you, like not giving an F what everyone else thinks or what's coming into your world from wherever. Just stay cool, calm, collect, and do your own thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important to learn. It's that mind mastery. If you get that, you can be a really powerful guy. I think it's good to do that every now and then.
I work with a person who is that exact person who cannot get on a bus in London, doesn't want to go to London because of fears of what happened on that day. Yeah, because of the news. It was never there, but it's very, very pays close attention to the news, and that is why it's really, really badly affected him. So crazy. Great book to read, then. Great book to read.
Yeah, definitely.
Final one.
Book 5.
I'm not going to go into it too deep.
Okay.
I don't want to destroy people's persona of the book.
Oh.
But we spoke about him last week. We know he does good books. And this week, I'm going to give you the name and the title and the owner of the book, the author, and that is all I'm going to give you. And it is The Principles of Changing World Order by Ray Dalio. That's it. That's all I'm going to give you. Go and research by yourself. You know who he is. If you haven't, listen to last week's podcast, and you will know who he is. That's it.
Was Principles his first book on the last top 5 books?
I think it might be. Yeah, I think it was.
I remember. Can't remember. We'll have to check.
We will.
Anyway, little bonus round. Sorry, I know it's turning into a long episode. I'm going to say you want to.
Yes.
A reread for me this year.
Yeah.
Is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss.
Chris Voss, yeah.
Absolute dinger of a book. Massively powerful. Again, I think I'll probably read that every year, every 2 years or so, just to keep it fresh, keep it boom, until I've memorised it.
Word on word.
He's carved in my brain.
No, yeah.
All right, that's me done.
Right. Good. Finished.
Awesome.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, links will be down below. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and share the podcast. If you aren't already, don't forget to follow us individually on Instagram now. He's posting, I'm posting. I'll believe it's going off. So don't forget to follow us. Again, maybe the links will be down below. I don't know. He might be slacking. We'll see. We'll let you know. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget, buy these books, read them, and let us know what you think of them as well. Take care, guys. Have a good one. See you later. Success is available for everyone, so why should you settle for less?